seen the offense and starting pitching have their moments during this winning streak. It was the defense day, I guess.
Pitching and defense, and great defensive plays today. Tommy nailing the runner at home. Tommy went to the gap, made that play. Spencer later on, I'm probably forgetting some, but just great team win there, and found a way to scratch one across in the eighth, and hung on for the win.
On those plays at the plate, it's always the throw that gets the attention, but the catcher has a big part in that as well. Can you just talk about how big Henry was on both of those to get the tag down before the runner got his arm in?
No doubt, and just the way that he was able to get up there and set up, and Tommy's throw was perfect, one hopper, and those bang ones at home on Spence, a lot of times it's hard to get a grip. These guys, they practice that every day, and sometimes you see teams that go through the motions. Like our guys, there's intent there, and I think that the intent that they've had in that practice translates over into the game, and to be able to make that play on Spencer's part, but then also you mentioned Henry being able to get up in front of the plate and still apply the tag in a bang fashion. That was great.
IKF had the double play earlier on too. Just what'd you think of his just quick reaction to look the runner back and then make the throw to third, make the throw to first? Sorry.
Yeah, quick reaction, and then Spence being able to hang in there, with the runner bearing down on him, and that was a huge play there. In that moment, first and third, and huge, great defense, like we talked about.
How impressive has this bullpen been as a whole over the last month plus?
Yeah, month plus, unbelievable, especially when we break it down over these last, since Saturday too, the way that the bullpen has responded, losing, to the rain, losing Falter 1 2/3, and, as we talked about, those guys being able to fill that game, and then, Carmen coming in, Shug coming in, giving us length and being able to finish games, and then today, Fergie back up for 2, Mattson, Bednar, find a way to get through 8 and 9, and just they've been so good. And I think that tonight they didn't maybe have their best stuff, but they showed the mettle that they have and how they were able to slow things down and find a way to make pitches when they had to.
You made the choice to bat Frazier there for Tommy. Was that a tough call to make, considering how well Tommy's been swinging?
Extremely tough call. Yeah. Tommy's been swinging so well. We just like to match up with Frazier better, and he was able to come through with a huge hit.
It seems like throughout this year, you guys have, if a starter is shutting you guys down, you seem to be able to get to relief pitchers late in the game. Just kind of, what do you think of the offensive performance there late, just to kind of scrap a few together?
Yeah, Cabrian starting it off with a base hit, Frazier coming up with the big double. Henry driving the ball to the outfield in a big situation. Just finding ways to score some runs, which after the previous few games, scoring a lot, just a gutsy win tonight, finding a way. Pitching defense has been so good, and with the offense coming through and finding a way to scratch one across there late was big.
How do you evaluate Paul's start?
Gutsy, grindy. I mean, when you talk about, you got pitch count up to close to 90 there in 5 innings, and against a good offensive club, it's kind of reminiscent of the day in Chicago. And find a way, he put a 0 up and gave us a chance to win. And I think that, the way that he's gone out and maybe didn't have his best command tonight, but found a way to get through it and put a 0 up and give us a chance to win the game.
Did you walk it all, keeping him in there?
Keeping him in there for the 6th. We talked about it, sometimes with him getting up there close to 90 and, may have to go to somebody there in the 6th inning. It was a good chance for Fergie, a clean inning for him to come in a good lane with Burleson in the middle of the order there, with Burleson and Gorman coming up, and not saying anything about Paul can handle that, but just a good opportunity there for Fergie to come in a clean inning.
I feel like teams
have kind of made things tougher on Paul maybe over these last 4 starts, fouling off pitches, getting that pitch count up on him.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes I can go to what you see is Paul's stuff is so good, it's tough to square up. Sometimes when you see teams that run a pitch count up, they're going up taking, and they're trying to run the pitch count up, and you can see an approach that maybe resembles that, and I haven't really seen that. They're going up there, they're being aggressive, they're swinging the bat. It's just his stuff sometimes, most of the time, is so good that it's hard to square up, and that can happen if they're fouling balls off.
What does it say about him that he's able to grind through that and continue to do what he usually does on a game by game?
he's an elite competitor, as we've talked about, and the way he prepares, the way he thinks, his mindset when he goes out there, and he's just so focused on every single pitch and every detail, when even in between starts, the way he works out, the way he gets after it is so focused and detail oriented, and that's what he carries into his starts as well.
Tony, you said when you had 4 consecutive blowouts, you said it reminds you too how much fun a one-run game could be. How much fun was this one?
This was a fun one, man. I mean, I'll tell you what, the crowd was into it. It got loud out there. There was a spot in the 8th inning where Burleson, 3-2 count, was trying to get behind, and the crowd was so loud he couldn't even communicate with the pitcher to let him know, and he ended up staying, holding the guy on, which is phenomenal. And I credit the crowd for that, the way that they were into it, up on their feet. You could feel the energy, even when in the 9th inning they get 2nd and 3rd. You could feel it, and that it helps the guys. It helps the players feel that when they're out there too.